Chrissy or Topher, and I'm also known as chrissyfoleyart. This is actually this is my first ever sketchbook tour, and it's also the first sketchbook that I've ever completed. I usually always just like start and then never pick it up again, and then those sketchbooks have kind of become like scrap paper sketchbooks, so I just like rip out papers and like if I need to do something or cover something. But this is the first one I have finished in my almost 24 years of life. I started in July 2022, but I don't know the date. I did, however, finish this December 11th, so that's 5 months. You can tell I don't like math, whether you're a friend or you follow me on my Instagram or you're just a complete stranger. Thank you for clicking on my sketchbook tour, and I hope you enjoy. If you want to find me anywhere else, I am on Instagram and Etsy, Patreon, all as chrissyfoleyart. But if you have any questions, let me know. But let's get into it, and until next time. I wanted to start off this tour by telling you about my sketchbook. First, I'm going to start with the stickers. I'm going to leave all of the information about the stickers up on the screen. So the sketchbook itself is a Moleskine art sketchbook with a hardcover. It's considered large at 5 inches by 8.25 inches, which really isn't that big of a sketchbook. There are supposedly 104 pages, but I don't know about that. I counted more. That's like including like the front and back of a page, not just like the singular page. Now we're getting into the sketchbook. I really like this butterfly. Probably one of my favorite things in the whole sketchbook. Here's me and my partner. And that's me showing off the date. I started in July 2022. I didn't record the actual date though, and then finished December 11th. It's so weird flipping through my sketchbook and seeing that I completed these goals and I'm on the road to working on stickers. I have this Sunnyside egg up on my shop. It's one of my friend's favorite sketches I did. Here's me just being overly expressive again with my hands because I literally don't know how to film one of these. Nothing like a Phoebe Bridgers quote with a Eddie drawing next to some pickles. This was supposed to be Maya Hawke, but I'm like not the biggest fan of it. It's kind of like eh. And here's one of my favorite spreads in my whole sketchbook. This is just a spread about bipolar, and it has Rue from Euphoria. This was kind of around the time I was diagnosed, so the pages mean a lot to me. And here is another one of my favorite spreads. I have a lot of like my favorite spreads back to back, just because the detail and the color and the line work in this is just chef's kiss. This, I like the spread, I just didn't finish it. That's what you'll realize with the sketchbook. I just have like finished pieces and like very far from finished pieces. And here's what I mean. It's perfect. And here is a commission I did for my aunt. It's their family dog. And I actually like made a print of it. And the thing that happened with all my original prints that I like the first order I did, they all came out super weird, and like the sizing, as you can tell, like the white border is like uneven, which bothers me. Like this right here, I didn't finish it. Here I had a lot of horror themed art, and this part was so bad, but it's like I had a lot of good stuff in the sketchbook. This was me just like practicing like figures I wasn't used to. And here's one of my favorite pieces I did. It was Robin from Stranger Things, me just showing off a print. Here's Phoebe Bridgers. And I really like these. This was when I was starting to get back into art. All these kind of happened at the same time. And then the Red Bull was kind of loosely based off of like my art at that time, because I really liked the style. This one cracks me up. I miss Flo. And here's some anatomy art, and I labeled all the different parts. This was really fun, especially since I went to school essentially for anatomy and physiology. Here's a spread where I really like the colors I used. I started off doing like that basket and I just hated it, so I decided to like expand the image. This is embarrassing. I literally misspell things all the time. And here's where I got into doing like a hand study. There's quite a few pages. I kind of wish I did more. But in my upcoming sketchbook, I am definitely going to go back to the basics of anatomy. Here's me practicing for a commission and planning something out, some just womanly body, it doesn't even have to be women, like body sketches. And my cat Percy, because I'm obsessed with drawing him. And these sketches, I actually really like this one and the one next to it. These were based off of ones that I didn't use references, but it's not like I can see images in my head. So I really like the way they turned out, because usually I only work from reference. And I like how I use the crystal throughout these 2 pages to kind of tie them in together. And I really just like these portraits again. And here we have the mushrooms. I really like oyster mushrooms and drawing them. There's just something about it that is super satisfying. And here's this art style that I always see on Instagram and my explore page like all the time. And I tried to recreate it. I actually like the way that turned out. And here's this owl, and I just really like the texture. I had a Taylor Swift spread and it was literally like attacking her, but I love Taylor, I swear, but you know. And on the other side of the page is something from Dune, but I just like never finished it. So that's why I focused on the mirror ball. Tell me this doesn't look like Niall from One Direction. Literally tell me. And here I just did like a meet an artist page, meet the artist. But I never posted this, but it was really fun. I did the sketch. I did post the sketch, just not the rest of the page. I did all of that after. Because I was trying to find a way to fill the space, because I don't know why I did the image so low in the corner. It just had so much empty space, so I decided to go through and, you know, just talk about myself. I don't really know much. I do like this star card that I drew, and I was supposed to draw more after. And here's me just trying to fill pages. I was testing out different stuff. I taped and glued stuff in. Kind of just like a lot of unfinished and just kind of practicing and using new stuff and new techniques. And this woman, I can't explain it any other way, but she looks like a character from Sally Face if you've ever played that game. And then we have these 2 pages that have nothing in common, but I love the way they look together. I think it was just because it was that marker and colored pencil style with both very like detailed and like just bright, fun pieces. And I just have no words about this one. I don't like this portrait. I feel like my face doesn't really look like my own face. This is one of the best movie spreads that I did in this whole sketchbook. I love Note, but the portraits in this are like some of the best portraits I've ever drawn. And I mean, looking at the Kiki Palmer, every time I go back to this page, I'm just like blown away. It took so much work too. And here's where I taped 2 pages together because it was just really bad, and I didn't really want the pages to get ruined, like these either sides. And I have nothing to say about this last page other than I hate it. His face is so demonic, but finished December 11th, and here's like this thing I got from Teddy Fresh. I just decided to tape in some random thing from my college, and yeah, that's the tour. If you made it this far in the video, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to watch. Feel free to follow me on other social media and go make some art. Understand why I don't film videos of myself now. That was like pulling actual teeth. And I literally, guys, you won't even, like, I had to put a blurb thing, so I hit points, otherwise I knew I would forget. And the points were literally my name, first video, first sketchbook tour.